Okay, we're getting to the end of the program now, and I want you to maintain your motivation. So today's session we're going to talk about staying motivated.
It is just the key to success.
It is, but why should you stay motivated?
Because you really can't accomplish anything if you give up.
Yeah, I mean, anything in life, you just have to keep doing it, don't you? If you give up, then the difference between those who reach their goals and those who don't is actually staying motivated. If you're motivated, you'll keep going. If you keep going, eventually you'll reach your goal.
Your hard work will be rewarded. Promise.
A couple of other reasons to stay motivated. Firstly, for increased confidence. The more you accomplish, the more you'll believe in yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
To fit into that dress or suit, go that extra mile, stay on track. Before you know it, you'll be wearing it. To make the week easier, have you ever felt like a week was taking forever? This happens when you're not working towards anything. When you have a goal in mind, the week will not only go faster, but be more enjoyable. And that's what a lot of people do say to me. You know, they've got something to get at. They actually look forward to breakfast. They look forward to ticking off another healthy eating day, or low GI throughout the day.
That's again why your goals have to always be framed in a positive way, because if it's going to be, oh, I can't have my chocolate cake or my wine today, you're going to be dreading that, whereas you're saying, okay, focusing on the healthy food that you really like, take every aspect and put a positive frame around it.
Also for your kids and your grandkids and their kids too. The healthier you are, the longer you'll be around.
And you set an example also.
Spreading the message. Yeah. When friends and family see how hard you're working, they'll wonder how they can reach their own goals. By staying motivated, you'll not only help yourself, but help others too. Yeah. Finally, the wow effect. Go on, Julie.
Just walking into a restaurant and running into somebody that you haven't actually seen for ages, and they're, gosh, my goodness, you look fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and even better if they actually walk right past you and didn't even recognize you because you're just looking so, fit and healthy and well. So by sticking with your goals, this can happen, and it's such a buzz feeling.
Okay. Obviously that there are reasons to stay motivated, but there are a couple of things here that I want to talk about now with regard to being tempted by food. I mean, as you've been mentioning many times earlier, Julie, you often have people around you that are going to just constantly nag away and almost try and get you to fail.
Sabotage your healthy change.
So ask yourself if you will be able to turn down any pushes, we call them, at any parties or social gatherings this year. Here's a couple of them to help you. A couple of responses. It's
It's my specialty. You'll have to try it.
I will in a minute, Julie.
Okay.
Stalling is a great tactic with food pushes. Odds are the offender won't follow you around making sure you actually try the dish. If they catch up with you by the end of the party to ask what you thought, tell them that it slipped your mind, but you'll try it next time. I know, obviously, I'm not going to be hiding under tables.
Has anybody seen Sarah around? Oh, there she is under the table. That's not going to happen.
No, but I mean, it's quite easy to avoid, at a party.
Yeah,
it's just once a year.
Yes, I know, but if I will probably celebrate more holidays and if I stick to my healthy diet.
True. People sometimes see healthy eating as vain. It's harder for a food pusher to argue with you if you bring attention to the fact that you eat right and exercise for better health and a longer life. Looking good just happens to be a side effect.
And this is what we discussed before, and I can't really emphasize it enough. You will have a lot of jealous people who will be trying to ruin your plans, and it's not always conscious on their part. They don't like sometimes to see people making positive change when they aren't. And maybe it's a perfect opportunity for you to say, well, gosh, maybe you want to try this with me for the next couple of weeks and, involve them so that they don't feel left out. Again, that's taking a negative and making it a positive. Looks like someone's obsessed with dieting.
I wouldn't say obsessed. I am conscious of what I eat.
Good answer. acknowledging your willpower and healthy food choices might influence others to be more conscious of what they eat, just like I said previously. And sometimes you just have to combat food pushers with a little bit of kindness. You don't need to be rude at any stage, but just confidence in your response.
If somebody puts an extra helping on your plate without asking, what would you do?
Well, it's what I do quite a lot of. I would take the fork and I'd push it around a little bit, that you used to do whenever you were a kid, and to make it look like you'd tried something that you hated. It's quite a good plan.
So making it look like you ate a bite or two can be an easy way out of the situation, but you can also just leave it alone and claim you've already had your fill. After all, you didn't add that extra helping. But it's your favourite!
This can be a tricky one, particularly if it's your mum or an auntie, but I think a nice way of doing it, and I have used it on numerous occasions, just say, I think I have overdosed on it. I ate it so much, I just can't eat it anymore.
But people understand that food preferences change, and most have been in that situation and been enjoying a dish so much that they can't touch it for a while.
I mean, they really don't have a big comeback with that, apart from maybe pulling a face. But again, frame it in a positive way and it will work for you.
If all else fails, say,
no thank you.
No thank you, that's lovely.
No thanks, I've had enough.
No thank you.
No thank you, I am full.
Just no thank you. Remember too that it's okay to have treats in moderation. Just make sure that you're the one in control of your splurges, not a friend, not a family member or a co-worker who doesn't know your fitness and health goals.
It's all about you.
Okay, I want to talk you through a few tips for starting and sticking with your new healthy lifestyle, exercise and diet routine.
Okay.
So first of all, we need to prepare.
Yes.
Put it as an appointment in your diary every day. You wouldn't miss an appointment. So prepare. Get your clothes out, everything organised, and be there.
Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. It's a very good line. Write it up somewhere.
Get the whole family involved. Make sure that if you've a 5 or 6 year old, they can come along with a wee bicycle,
scooter or whatever,
or something next to you while you're actually jogging along. Go for a run with your spouse or partner. Join a club, but basically try and get everybody involved.
And you're sending the message constantly out to your children that it's part of a lifestyle. It's not just something that you sometimes do once a month. It's part of a lifestyle that's to be continued. And kids love getting out with their mum and dad, and even taking them to the gym. Sometimes you can do small exercises and get them to maybe show you a couple of ones that they may think that they can do, and just play with it. They love it.
To be honest, the most successful programs that I've been involved in have actually been with the entire family. So if you can get them involved, please do. Where are your friends? I mean, your friends are there for you. They're your motivation, your inspiration. Use them. Okay? Discuss things with them and get them to be on your side.
The positive ones, that is.
That's it.
The positive ones.
Yeah. Sign up for a race. I think it's great that most people, they get to a stage where they just want a goal, and signing up for a 5K, I mean, even if it is a small fast walk or a jog walk, just getting yourself out there, using it as a goal is fantastic.
I think a fun run is probably, if you see places that say fun run, a race is very often quite competitive. You can actually find a lot of runs that are all female, or they have a lot of people who are just doing, half of them would be walking it. So make sure it's something that's within, I suppose, a realm that you feel comfortable with, and you're not going to feel frustrated and that you really, didn't fit in.
Run or walk in public, that's it's an interesting one, but a lot of people do hide themselves away, and it's really fantastic if you can get out there and be really proud of your accomplishment.
Yeah.
Just show up. My gosh, if you're there, you will do your routine. I mean, the hardest thing is to get yourself to that place.
Started.
Yeah, I mean,
Get up
once
and-
you're,
Get up and put your gym shoes on. If you know that you're going to work out, or you have an inkling in your head, or you've been talking about working out that following morning, get up, put your gym shoes or put your workout gear on. It will shift your frame of mind.
keep eating a good variety of foods. I mean, we hopefully have emphasized that enough throughout. You can't be eating the same breakfast, the same lunch, the same snacks every single day. You've got to have good variety.
There's lots of really good ideas in the book as well for different lunches and snacks. I mean, there's only so much tuna fish you can eat, let's face it.
Yeah.
So it gives you so many different examples of what you can do, and it's easy.
Understand your energy cycle. In exercise, really, I mean, when you obviously do have the energy, trying to understand, are you better in the morning? Are you better in the evening? What's the best time of day for you? You don't want to be exercising when you're in a real lull. You can't do that.
Because it's harder to motivate yourself whenever you don't have that level of energy. And again, tie it in with a friend who you know is going to be possibly free at lunchtime. If you know, okay, I feel fine, we can have a light lunch and then maybe go for a walk.
Wallow in your greatness. I mean,
We love that.
yeah, we do. It's just that you need to continue to be really proud of what you've done so far. I mean, don't look at the things you haven't achieved. It's always looking at the things that you have. You know, one point at a time. Mark off those goals, the small short-term goals, and be proud of them. And finally, you've got to have fun. It has to be enjoyable. Otherwise, you will not stick with it. It is good fun.
Particularly if you like to dance, get a dance class. If you love to go out with, the
Just
kids
play.
and watch them run around, play tag, go out and get the dog, chase after
Pretend
the
you're a
dog.
child again.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't forget to drink your water.
So important.
Okay, I want to talk to you today about fad diets. It's any type of diet that promises almost miraculous weight loss results in a very short period of time. Now, a lot of people come to us having been through a lot of different fad diets in their time, haven't they?
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, by its very name, it's not a long term, or will it ever be sustainable?
The different sorts of diets that people have been on include the Atkins diet.
Which I actually did try, and apart from the fact that during the day I would get these very dizzy spells, my breath was horrendous. I mean, people were actually commenting on just how bad it was. It was horrible.
Not very nice.
No, not at all.
Well, that's the diet where it's a really high protein and very low carbohydrates. And remembering that carbohydrates is feeding your brain. It's
Yeah.
the priority food for your brain. So if you don't have that, then you're desperate. I mean, you'd be very foggy. That's
But
for
the
sure.
right type of carbohydrates, the low GI, that's what you just got to keep remembering.
Cabbage soup diet. I mean, that can lead to quite a
Bad smell around that house, I think.
I'd say so. Grapefruit diet. I really don't understand how a grapefruit diet can work, but I mean, they do start to say about melting fat away, but how can a grapefruit melt fat? If you sat a piece of lard on top of a grapefruit, is it going to melt it?
That's a bit ridiculous, really, isn't it?
It is. Baby food diet. Imagine doing that all day. Beverly Hills diet. You've heard all about. Egg diet. Eating eggs all the time. No. Okay. Well, the hazards of eating, some of these fad diets would be a low metabolic rate. And that's a dieting hazard for a lot of people.
Well, I think because you tend to, when you do fad dieting, you do yo-yo, and you don't just do one fad diet more often than not. You are sort of finding the next diet, so your metabolic rate is starting to go up and down because you're, very often starving yourself, very low caloric intake, and then when you come off it, you either binge eat or, you're just eating a lot more, and that is disastrous for your metabolic rate, and it can be affected permanently as far as slowing down.
So, I mean, your metabolic rate, of course, is your engine inside, and what you want to do instead would be feed little and often. So that's what we go on about all the time. Also, a hazard would be low blood pressure, tiredness, and irritability.
Even if I miss a meal, myself, I get irritable, so I can
Gotcha.
definitely relate to that.
Okay, hair loss, bad breath, anemia, and hormonal imbalance,
Yeah.
particularly with women. I mean, low iron can affect hormones. So, yeah.
I think just elaborating on this a little bit. I mean, fad diets, as I said, it's not sustainable, and I think that, to be honest, they are quite addictive because you do lose weight on them.
Mm.
And I think for a lot of people, if they're going on a weight loss journey, they very often think, oh, maybe kickstart this weight loss journey by maybe losing an extra bit of weight, and then I'll be able to sort of, balance it out a little bit. But in actual fact, that's not what happens. Is that the opposite effect happens, and you actually taste how good it is, literally, to lose those extra pounds quite fast. And it's impossible because you cannot, after a week, or definitely not 2 weeks, you cannot emotionally, physically, or mentally sustain it. So then you start to beat yourself up and go on about, oh my goodness, I can't commit to anything, I'm never going to lose weight, I have no willpower, beat. And then what happens is that you go back onto binging again, eating too much of the wrong food, eating too much of food, full stop. And the spiral downward occurs, and then the yo-yo dieting starts again because you have already had that little taste of what it's like to lose those extra pounds, and it really is just the road to no town. I think as well it's a recipe for disaster, and that it sets you up for failure. You're going to fail every single time. That is the bottom line. They are not made for success, and this is so bad for you mentally. You feel out of control, and we have discussed that feeling of not knowing where to go with your relationship with food and binge eating. It's treacherous as far as trying to make lifestyle changes and a balanced approach and to build a new relationship with yourself. So no fad diets.
In order to identify whether or not a diet is fad, if you can answer yes to any of these questions, it will be. First of all, does it claim that you can eat unlimited quantities of meat, cheese, and eggs? Does it cut out or restrict foods like bread, fruit, or vegetables? Does it involve buying special pills or meal replacements?
That is a very important one, because a lot of times in chemists you go in or pharmacies you will go in and there will be a lot of meal replacements, and I think because it's in a chemist you think it's healthy for you, and it's not. It's still a fad.
Does it promise excessively fast weight loss, like a stone in a week, that sort of thing? Is it based on some new secret that no one else has discovered? So any of those, I mean, if it's a yes, then please avoid. What we want you to do is stick with a healthy eating plan. If it's a weight loss journey you're after, then it will be 1 pound a week, no more. Just keep going. I know that we've talked about fad diets earlier as well, but I need you to just avoid them completely and stick with your healthy eating plan.
I think that we come from a society where popping a pill to achieve anything has become so commonplace, but you just really have to put it in your head that this is going to be a process, a slow process, but something that is totally achievable. Try and wipe the slate clean of all the information that you have acquired with all these fad diets. You can't have this, you can't have that. You've got to just get rid of all that. It's very, very confusing for you. I totally understand that. But let's just get back to basics, look at how we can move forward with all the information that you already have acquired, but how you're going to just follow a healthy lifestyle.